Picture a woman driving home from church on a Sunday afternoon. Her husband says something small, just a passing comment about the route she took. And before the thought even fully forms, she fires back, sharp, cold, laced with something she's been carrying for weeks. And the moment it lands, the car goes quiet. She watches his jaw tighten, and she already knows. That wasn't about the route, that was something else entirely. And she just handed it a microphone. You know that moment. Maybe yours was in a text you sent before you thought it through. Maybe it was in front of the kids. Maybe it was a comment you posted, and 3 hours later wished you could unmake. The details are different. The weight is the same. And what I'm about to show you in this video will change everything, because every framework you've ever been handed to fix this problem, it's solving the wrong thing entirely. Stay with me. Here's what I need you to stay with me for, because this is where everything changes. The problem is not your mouth. The problem is not that you need more discipline, better vocabulary, or a breathing technique before you speak. Every framework that hands you a tool to manage your tongue is solving the wrong problem, and I'll show you exactly why, from the word itself, in just a moment. Because here's what Jesus actually said about this. In Luke 6:45, he didn't say, "Guard your words carefully." He said a good person brings good things out of the good stored in their heart, and an evil person brings evil out of evil. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. The mouth is not the source. The mouth is the report. Whatever is filling you, that is what comes out under pressure every single time. So when you snap at the people you love, when you gossip because the silence made you anxious, when you say something surgically sharp in the middle of an argument, you are not failing to be disciplined enough. You are succeeding at being exactly what your heart has been storing. And no technique on earth fixes a storage problem. James understood this. In chapter 3, he describes the tongue as a small fire that can set an entire forest ablaze, a tiny rudder that steers a massive ship. He's not exaggerating for effect. He's making a diagnostic claim. The tongue has power far beyond its size, and it moves in the direction of whatever is steering it beneath the surface. The tongue is not a freestanding problem. It is the visible instrument of an invisible condition. Right here is where I want to ask you something honest. When's the last time you said something and immediately knew, not wondered, knew that it came from fear? From a wound you've been carrying for years? From a place of wanting control because something else felt out of control? That's not a communication failure. That's a heart condition expressing itself with words. And here's the pattern that trips people up most. 3 of them, actually. The first, speaking before listening. James 1:19 is practically surgical. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Most people read that as good advice. It's actually a diagnosis. The reason you speak before you listen is because you are already convinced of what you need to say, more committed to your own narrative than to the truth of the person in front of you. That's not a timing problem. That's a pride problem. And you cannot solve a pride problem with a pause. The second, using words to wound when you feel threatened. This is the one nobody admits to, but almost everyone does. When you're scared, when you feel dismissed or disrespected, the tongue becomes a weapon. Not because you're a cruel person, but because something inside you learned that offense is the fastest defense. That's not a communication style. That's a wound that hasn't been brought to the right place yet. The third, confusing emotional release with honesty. I just say what I mean. Sounds like integrity. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just unchecked overflow wearing the costume of authenticity. Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Not irritation, not mild awkwardness, death and life. This is why you can read every book on communication and still destroy the people closest to you. It is not a skill gap, it is a heart gap. Drop a comment if you've ever walked away from a conversation and thought, "That wasn't me at my best. That was something I haven't dealt with yet." Because if you've been there, what comes next in this video matters for you. Here's the deepest thing I want you to hear, and I need you to sit with this. You are not a toxic person. You're not too far gone. You're not defined by the sharpest thing you've ever said. You are a person whose heart has been filling with pressure, with pain, with old stories, with things that never healed, and words cannot help but reveal what's been stored there. That is not your verdict. That is your starting point. Galatians 5 describes the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. None of these are skills you develop. They are fruit. And fruit does not come from technique. Fruit comes from the condition of the root. You cannot manufacture gentleness by trying harder to be gentle. You can only receive it by surrendering the roots to something stronger than your willpower. This is the part the self-help world never reaches. Not because those teachers are wrong about everything, but because they're working at the surface of a problem that goes all the way down. The transformation available to you is not a better version of the same effort. It's a different kind of work, the kind that happens when the heart is brought to the one who made it, named it, and still has authority over it. If this opens something in you today, subscribe, because this is the ongoing work. Share this with someone who's been trying to just be better with their words and is worn out by it. The change you've been looking for is not far out of reach. It was never really a tongue problem.